I am delighted to be with you today. It is such an honor to be on the Middle East Forum webinar. Many of you know me and have heard my story, but for those of you who have not, I would love to share with you my experience growing up in Lebanon, moving to Israel, and later coming to the United States. I was born and raised in what used to be Paris of the Middle East, the banking capital of the Middle East. In Lebanon, we were fair-minded, we were open-minded, fair, tolerant society. We had open borders. We welcomed everyone into our country, especially those who wanted to come and study in our universities. We had built the best universities in the Middle East. Those who graduated stayed and worked in our economy because we had built the best economy in the Middle East. And that was the Lebanon I grew up in. I'm an only child to a Lebanese businessman, so I was raised in the privilege and lab of a successful life, a businessman who provided for me, and life was fantastic. All that began to change as we started bringing in Palestinian refugees into the country. Lebanon actually was the only country to accept the third wave of Palestinian refugees, while none of the Arabic countries wanted to accept them. Lebanon welcomed them in because we, as at that time, a majority Christian society, we welcomed them with open arms because that's the type of society we are. Those who started to say that they want to transform our society and that they wanted to use our society and take it over, we didn't believe them because we refused to read the writing on the wall. What happened was Yasser Arafat and his cronies, whom we welcomed into Lebanon, and the Palestinian refugees wanted to use Lebanon and our democracy to basically use it as a launching pad attacking Israel to destroy the Jews and Israel using our democracy to do that. My 9/11 happened to me in 1975 when radical Islamists blew up my home, burning it down, burying me under the rubber window. I ended up in a hospital for 2.5 months. And as I laid in a hospital room, hooked up to IVs in both arms, I would ask my father, why did they do this to us? And my father would tell me, because they consider us infidels and they hate us. They want to kill us. So I learned since I was a 10-year-old little girl that I am wanted dead simply because I was born into the Christian faith and lived in a Christian town. I ended up leaving the hospital and coming back home, but my home was no longer the home I left. I ended up living in a bomb shelter underground in an 8 by 10 room, without electricity, without water, and very little food. And that's where I lived for the next 7 years of my life, robbed of my youth. To get some food, we would crawl out under the bombs because we were surrounded by Palestinians who were majority Muslims, raining bombs on us. We would get out of our bomb shelter and we would crawl under the bombs, trying to dig out dandelions and different greenery that grew around our bomb shelter because it was the only salads we had to eat. To get some water, we would crawl under snipers' bullets because we were surrounded by Islamic snipers, trying to get to the nearby spring.